And I love sleeping a lot because the shages of product management, I mean, you need rest, trust me. You need proper rest. So I mean, outside of all these personal things, I also create articles related to the field of product management, sharing what I've learned and just learning from people. I enjoy doing that because I believe when you share, you get to, or when you teach, you get to retain information better that way. So that's a little about me. So today we'll be looking at what soft skills are, who a product manager is, what key soft skills product manager should possess, the why. I mean, why do we need these soft skills, the importance, and how to leverage them for success as a product manager. So soft skills, I know we've heard a lot. I mean, we hear hard skills, we hear soft skills. I mean, not to take the word literally, right? Hard skills are, let's begin with soft skills. So soft skills are sometimes referred to as people skill, your people skill, right? And they are really what sets us apart from other people. um they encompass how we interact with people, how we react to situations, how we handle situations, difficult situations, and generally, a personal trait that helps us succeed and thrive in a work environment. So taking it back to art skills, art skills are those skills that you need to carry out your duties, right? So for a product manager, art skills, some art skills will involve documentation, will involve market research, user research, will involve um maybe wireframing, right? I mean, it would involve, all those key taxes that we do as product managers, those SDLC processes, analysis, you know, all these things are art skills. And one thing I used to distinguish art skills from soft skills is that, we are all, I mean, I know some of us here might have done similar or even the same boot camp or taking the same courses as product managers. So all these concepts that they teach at these boot camps or courses, it is usually the same thing that everyone learn. We learn this is what documentation is, this is what research is, this is how you carry out research, right? So we learn the same thing when it comes to hard skills. But when it comes to soft skills, it is not emphasized enough, right? The way you approach working with a team will be, even though we are given the same task, will be different from the way I will approach, working with a team, on that same task. So that is why, or that is how soft skills set us apart. So their interpersonal qualities, I mean, that sets again, your soft skill is there to set you apart. You might be the best at documentation, right? But what about working with a team? How are you able to convey your documentation across to them in a way that everyone is aligned, everyone knows what we're working towards, right? So, by owning these skills, I mean, we can effectively navigate the complexities of product development, build trust with stakeholders, and again, your soft skills helps you propel your career forward. So it's just like I always say, your hard skills is one half of the equation. Your soft skill is the other half. I mean, there are even some people that will argue that, what, one is bigger than the other. Um, I mean, there are some fun facts out there, and people would argue that, what, your soft skills is really the thing that will propel you forward as you move up the career ladder. So your soft skill, like I said, is one half of the equation. However, your people skill or your soft skill will take you even further. So let's now marry it since we're talking about key soft skills for product manager. So a product manager is someone who works with a cross-functional team to build and ship impactful products from inception and throughout the product life cycle. I mean, like I mentioned, your responsibility as a PM would encompass user and market research, documentation, writing user stories, part of documentation, creating PRDs, developing product roadmap strategy. All these things are things we do as product managers. They are our hard skills. And one thing I always say is, as product managers, you are simply a leader without authority, right? In the sense that you influence people without authority. You do not, like I always say, this is one of the reasons why I mean, not yeah, yeah, this is one of the reasons why product managers and developers clash a lot, because as product managers, you trust me, you are not there to start telling people this is what we're doing and this is how you should do it, right? Every other person in the cross-functional team should have their own autonomy over the work they do. So as product manager, as long as we are there for we're there from inception, to launch and throughout the product life cycle, as long as the product is live and people are using it, we are there to ensure that everyone is working towards the same goal. We are not there to start dictating to people. I, for one, I do not assign taxes to my engineers. It is the engineering manager task to do that. I just define what we'll do, create backlogs, create tickets, and the engineering manager would assign, and everyone have autonomy over moving their ticket from I picked up this ticket. It's in QA review. It's done. We've deployed. That is how we can all move forward together as a team. So that is why most PMs, typically find themselves running after developers. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? And you just have to be like a leader without authority. So, and this comes from how you work with people. So product management is a people facing role. You interact with people 95% of the time, from your customers to the devs, designers, sales, marketing, legal, your C-level executives, everybody. You interact with people at different touch points, of the product life cycle. In research, you um you carry out user research. You put out survey forms, you speak to customers, you use competitors products, you even go as far, I mean, for me personally, I've gone as far as even signing up for demos on competitors products, and even ending up speaking with their support, just to understand their product better. So at every touch point of at every touch point as a product manager, you are always interacting with people, right? Because you want to ship impactful products, you want to ship what people would be able to use, and we want to ensure that we are doing it in an environment where everyone understands the goal that we're trying to achieve. So some key soft skills product managers should possess. Just checking in, are we together, guys?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you. So some key soft skills product managers should possess. We have collaboration, teamwork. You cannot even escape it because again, your role is a custom is even a front facing role, you interact with people, so you work with everyone in the cross functional team. Trust me, every single person, every which is why the job of a product manager is very, very powerful, right? So you are in the loop of everything. Is it compliance with legal? Is it our go-to-market strategy? You are there at every touch point. Is it technical feasibility? So you need this is an essential skill, needed to ensure that the product development phase goes smoothly. Communication skill as well. You I mean, for some product managers in this part of the world, we also act as a scrum master during stand up. So you are there stand up, getting status updates. That's one communication skill. Documentation is another communication skill. Um, I mean, the verbal non-verbal communication as a product manager is very, very essential because we want to convey what we are doing to everybody, including our customers, in a very concise manner. And it is always important because if there is a break in communication, it can be a blocker and it can cause a delay in what we are trying to do. right? I've had an issue like this, that what I communicated to um what I communicated to my line manager wasn't clear. So when there was like a management meeting, I mean, he kind of like caused, some blockers as to, oh, this wasn't clear enough, this should have been clear enough, so that I would have moved past this. So communication skill is very, very, very key for us as product managers. Then the ability to take initiative, being able to understand what needs to be done in certain situations. So I think for me, my ability to take initiative is one thing that has been making work seamless for me lately, right? Because as of last year, when we were in the discovery phase of my product, I just took initiative to start documenting things, just kind of like, oh, okay, I feel like when this time comes, we might have a need for this, we might have a need for that. So now that and I have to start doing those, and I have to start writing those documentation, and I found that, you know what, I've actually written these things, but that is not to say, oh, I don't still need to do something, because the market changes, right? Market industry changes, market change, even your direction in the company can change. You guys can pivot into another thing. So the only thing I just needed to do was to just and align it to the direction we are currently taking. So it took a lot of workload off my head. So for me, I usually tell, PMs that I'm opportune to have conversations with, that you just need to take initiative yourself. I think when it comes to documentation for product managers, you need documenting things should be at your discretion. Do you see the need for this? Do you see the need for that? I mean, that in itself is taking initiative and doing things even before you are told to do them. Then leadership, again, we are leaders without authority. It should be, I do not like the word managing people. Trust me. As product managers, I believe we're there to manage processes over people. I mean, this is just me, but I mean, as a leader, you want to be someone that people will listen to just because you say something. Someone that people will respect. So I think leadership also comes from young people. You want to be a leader without authority. You want to value people's feedback. You want to value people's opinion. You want to also actively you know, seek it from them. And I also feel like this is one of the reasons why some devs and PMs kind of like clash, because you're telling them, oh, this is what you do, as opposed to, oh, this is the right direction we are taking. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about? There are even instances that, I mean, for me, there are even instances that I might not be available to take stand up that morning, and my engineering manager will fill in, will just anchor it, right? And I mean, that's just, I mean, the ability to just influence without authority. I'll just reach out. Oh, I'm unavailable, for stand up today. I don't know if you can take it, and blah 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 blah, and fill me in. So as a product manager, it is always important to also understand the people you are working with. Empathy is part of it. Strategic thinking. Trust me, my head like this. Is aching me. I mean, that aside, but strategic thinking is important. Persuasion, you want to get buy-in from your stakeholders, you want to get buy-in from your partner. You should be able to persuade them. I mean, persuasion is a very powerful skill, soft skill for product managers. Critical thinking, prioritization, being able to define, what we are doing. Should this come now? Should this come next? Should this come later? you know and you also find yourself, I also feel like prioritization doubles as a art skill for product managers, right? Because you now start applying things like, oh, your Moscow, your rise framework, your high impact low effort, all those frameworks as well. And problem solving, trust me, it comes in handy. problem solving comes in handy. Time management, we don't have to linger on things for too long. You need to be able to manage your time, and this ties to prioritization. you know when you're trying to achieve something, you want to ensure that, in those processes, what are our low hanging fruits, things that we can do fast and will have the most impact, right? And then adaptability, like I mentioned, the market changes a lot. Like, this fintech market lately has been crazy. I don't know if you guys follow the fintech market news. It has been crazy. People are trying a lot of new things, their acquisitions left and right. You're trying to see where those acquisition will pivot into, and it's just crazy. Or the e-commerce market as well, like, things change a lot. You find new product in the market every week, so you need to be able to adapt, and even internally as well, you need to be able to adapt. So it's 5%. This is a fun fact. It's 5% of job success comes from well developed soft skills, while only 15% comes from technical, which are your hard skills. So this was a fact I saw on Google, and I don't know if we follow Azodo, simply Azodo on Twitter. He releases this workplace newsletter, weekly, every Tuesday. And I remember there was this segment on soft skills and how it can take you up the ladder. And I mean, because I won't put things in a slide presentation that I'm going to be giving, if I don't find resources that back it up. So when I read that particular edition, it just brought things into perspective for me that, what, if you really sit down to think about, if you want to move up the career ladder, you need to own your soft skills. You need to be able to, there are even some people that they might not be as good as you are, when it comes to our skills, but their people skill is what they use to compensate, just for that. And which is why when you go into interviews, you now get questions like those behavioral questions like, oh, can you tell us about a time when you worked with a team member that was difficult to work with? All those scenarios, all those behavioral scenarios. Or when it comes to cultural fit, trust me, cultural fit is to assess our soft skills. Trust me, they want to know if you can fit into their culture. They want to know um if you can if you're someone that people within the company can work with. Because trust me, if someone doesn't fit into a company cultural if they don't fit into a company's culture, that might be the end of the road for that particular job application, right? So things like behavioral questions when it comes to interviews, things like cultural fit, those final rounds um where you interview with maybe a C-level exec, they are really checking your behavioral your soft skills. They're really checking your people skill. They're seeing how you communicate. They're saying, because if you even look at it very well, in this current state of the PM job application process, you apply, some might give you an assessment. Even I think now most do. So the assessment is to test your hard skill, right? And some part of your soft skill, because documentation will be part of it. So they want to know how well you can document. Um, and when you move up that recruiting process, you end up speaking to people. You can talk to the product team. The product team are assessing both your soft and hard skill. But the final, there is always a process called cultural fit. That cultural fit is to assess your soft skills, because there are usually certain ways that companies are set, and people internally, you just know that they just want to know if you can vibe with them. I don't know if I can use that sentence, but cultural fit, assess one soft skill, right? And they are usually, I think, the last thing, when in the recruiting process. So So why should product managers possess soft skills? Again, like I've been saying, we work with everyone in the cross-functional team, every single person. And for some of us that integrate with third-party providers, you know, um, and partners, we also interface with these people as well. So why do we need to possess soft skills? To bridge communication gaps, you know, for product managers, um, I mean, I feel like in this part of the world, product managers um should be a bit technical, right? Especially if there is no technical, if there is no actual technical product manager on that team. So translating technical concepts for non-technical audiences and vice versa. So let's say the sales and marketing team, for what I've come to understand, they don't even like all these technical jargons, blah 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 blah. They'll tell you that, see, we don't want, just tell us what we are doing, in layman terms. Another one is to build trust and rapport, foster collaboration and physiological safety within the team. Because I'm able to trust my engineering manager, I'm able to tell them that, what, I'll be available for stand up today. Can you please just take charge? And it's because I trust them, and just because we work so well together. Uncovering user needs, we want to be able to conduct effective user research, build empathy for customer pain points. We want to build what customers will use and get value from at the end of the day. Influence and persuasion, leading and motivating and navigating conflict. All these difficult people, all these developers, at the end of the day, it is our soft skills that would, help us to work with them better. Trust me. It is it is our soft skills. It's not our hard skills at the end of the day. So, and importance, they help us maintain and strengthen relationships. They help us develop positive attitude towards work. They help us develop our leadership skills. We make meaningful connections and network. So soft skill is not even internally within your workspace. Soft skills also extend to the industry, right? The ability to communicate with other product managers. I know I've been able to make meaningful connections. I've been able to build friendship, within the PM community, just from being able to communicate, just from being able to, um, be able to relate with them. So I think soft skills shouldn't only be confined to your workspace. It should also extend to your career industry, build relationship outside of work, and they also act as a catalyst to help us move up the ladder. Remember, propel your career forward. Soft skills helps to propel our career forward. Also, strong communication skills allows us to effectively influence and collaborate across different departments. So how can we leverage key soft skills? These key soft skills for success as product managers. So I have about six of them, and I gave scenarios, example scenarios. So communication, we want to ensure we articulate our vision clearly, both verbally and in writing. Trust me, the documentations we write here, they are not just for writing sake. We write them to communicate a certain thing, to the people that we are writing it for. And for me, when it comes to documentation, I do not like adding it. Once I'm creating a document like this, I'm adding everybody that needs to see it, and I'm on Google Docs, and I enable view access for everyone that has our Google Workspace email, so that if I share it, you can view it. You don't have to come back to me and say, Florence, I can't see this thing. So I think in the course of articulating this in clearly, you also want to ensure an open line of communication. You want to ensure people have access to, things that can help us, be better aligned, that can help us be set on the good that we're working towards. So part of this communication is also in our roadmap. Um it's also in how we document our user stories for our engineering team. How we convey um design concept to our designer, and with our stakeholders as well. So an example is during a product demo, you have to tailor your language to resonate with the audience. So if I'm doing a demo for sales and marketing team, I remember I tweeted something last week. It was a meeting with the product marketing team and sales, and I was throwing technical lingos um all around. I kept saying technical depth, I kept saying engineering feasibility. I just kept saying a lot of technical jargons. So I went on Twitter, I tweeted something like, oh, I feel like a sellout. I was in a meeting with marketing. I kept throwing technical lingos, and it was just funny to me, right? Because I didn't even need to do all that, but again, I just wanted to sound, just the way developers do. Well, I am a dev, but trust me, I mean, I'm more product manager now, so you guys forgive me, product manager management community, forgive me. So just align your language, your tone to the audience. So this is an example here. If it is the engineering meeting now, I can throw the technical term a- around because they will understand it better. And if it is for executives, but I do have a co-founder that is very, very technically grounded. But I know if I'm speaking to the other one, he just wants to hear the benefits. He just wants to hear where we are. He just wants to hear what we've achieved. He just wants to hear money, the revenue, right? Because it's business oriented. And second one is customer empathy. I feel like I should have just made it empathy because you also want to be empathetic towards your internal team, right? But customer empathy, you conduct user interview surveys to understand their pain points and what they need, and you're able to prioritize, what we are building based on this user needs. And an example is user research that reviews customer struggle with a complex onboarding process, because you're able to hear from them and we listen to them. Also, empathy is tricky because you also need to know when to say no to customers, right? But if it is impeding their usage of the product, it is telling on the product metrics, which is why product metrics are important, success metrics are important. So you can use that to define a solution, around, what is their pinpoint. Then collaboration, foster open communication. I do not like holding information. I do not like keeping the documentation are not for my are not they're not just for me, it's not for decoration. So foster an open line of communication and trust within your team. I think we're just having a bit of conversation yesterday at the office, and we're just gisting, right? And we will just use that. Oh, you know what? You're my blocker. If you go into meeting, I'll set leg for you. Blah blah blah. Trust me, it's just banter. Nobody set leg for anybody. So it's because we trust each other. We have our back. We're able to, not even make excuse for people, but we're just able to have each other's back. So collaboration also comes from delegating tasks effectively, empowering your team to contribute their expertise. I do not like saying this is what we are doing. I rather say, guys, this is our goal. What do you think? How can we approach it? I do not tell engineering how to do their work. I do not tell marketing how to do their work. They also do not tell me how to do my work. Right. At the end of the day, we work as a team, we work as one, to be able to achieve our goal at the end of the day. An example is holding team meetings. So this can be stand up, we address blockers, we brainstorm solutions together, we also celebrate our success together. And we have leadership, we want to set clear vision for our products, we want to ensure we're making um data driven decisions. And an example is presenting a roadmap, with smart goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound, and also guiding the team through challenges, offering support, and recognizing individual contributions. Well done is not far from my mouth. If you do something and I love it and it's nice, and we're moving forward, I always say, well done, team, well done, guys, this is good, this is great. So compliments and just give and just recognize people's contribution. We have problem solving, ability to approach challenge, thinking outside the box, right? Analyzing data, gathering feedback, all these things. We're gathering feedback because you want to solve a problem, you want to find the right solution to that particular problem. And an example is a key feature that if a key feature encountered an unexpected technical ordeal. So, the next thing is not to berate the engineering team like, why did you guys cook beans and say you build products? So the ideal thing is to brainstorm with them and find the appropriate solution while also considering technical constraints. Adaptability, trust me, if you want to be a PM, you have to you have to be able to adapt. You have to continually learn about new technologies, your market, you know industry trends, all these things, what your competitors are doing, what you can do to stay ahead of that curve. So an example is the product is pivoting to a new niche within the market. You don't panic, trust me. You adapt to the situation and work with everyone to ensure that you guys are aligned on the new pro goal and direction. So just to conclude and bring it home, and I hope we are still together, my leads. Okay, 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 okay. um at the end of the day, as product managers, both soft skills and hard skills are very, very important, trust me. But the ability to successfully work with and manage different teams, you know, in order for us to build and shape these impactful products, is the essence of being a product manager, trust me. And I'm just going to throw this question to, everyone and say, can we share one thing we find fulfilling about our product? I'm sure majority, or about our career, majority would be, people making my product making people's life better, people getting value from my product, people being happy using my product, because we are there to make people's life better. And there are processes to doing these things. There are processes that would end up, or that would there are processes that will need to be in place, for that value to be the end product of an idea, right? So at the end of the day, we have to work with people. We have to multiple people from different walks of life, guys. You don't know this person upbringing. You don't know what they've been through, but we all have to show up at work. We all have to. We don't even have to smile at each other, but just to foster a warm environment. Smile at each other. You have to be able to work with them effectively to ensure that we're able to achieve this goal. So some helpful tips to develop these skills would include being self-aware, creating. I feel like if we are comfortable with ourselves, if we believe in our craft, this is now where me being shy I would not speak to me being shy, maybe a pro manager. I know I've seen someone, I've bantered about it on the timeline that you are shy and you're a pro manager, as how do you get? But trust me, when it comes to being a pro manager, when it comes to me being a pro manager, I never shut up. But outside of work, if I'm tired of talking, I'll stop talking. But when it comes to work, and there are also those moments when I would just want my lone time, be in my space. I'll go and hide in a corner of the office. But when I'm out of that bubble, hey, you just be hearing my voice, just talking about product, talking about the market, just about the industry with my colleagues, and just talking about what can make a product better, talking about how we can ensure that we are actually working towards this goal, because at the end of the day we want to make money with our products, and if people don't use it, there's no way we are going to make money. So create an open line of communication, motivate and inspire people within your team, and take Microsoft skills courses. I think Jobberman has some. Yeah, Jobberman. Yeah, Jobberman. Jobberman. So we can, I mean, if you want to, we can always do that. But soft skills can be owned in doing. If you're someone shy, you don't want to talk during stand up, you have an idea but you don't want to speak, just take the initiative to. If you don't want to raise up your hand, or if you don't want to unmute your mic, type it in the chat, right? Or share with your line manager. And I mean, at the end of the day, your soft skills are very important as much as your hard skills. Marrying both together effectively do a lot of um would be a lot of help, not just to the product development process but to your career as a whole. And these are some resources, to read about top soft skills for product manager in 2024, how to leverage these skills, how to own these skills. And last thing I'll leave us with is a solid set of hard skills plus these key soft skills make a competent product manager. And that brings us to the end of our section. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Florence. Thank you. Really enjoyed the session. I guess
Thank
now it's time for it's over 22 seconds.
questions.
Yeah, questions. But before we take our questions, please start noting them down, start bringing them or dropping them in the what's it called comments or chat box. Yeah. Quickly, I would just like to talk to those who are looking to get started in tech, right? Let me see if I can share my screen. In five
Okay.
minutes.
Let me share it.
Yeah, you can stop sharing, Florence. Okay.